my term that I really just grabbed onto, and I'm blessed to have, like I said, plenty of properties, plenty of businesses now. It's generational wealth. I will literally give these properties to my kids. I mean, it's literally a business that makes money without us working because we have other people doing all the work. We built a business, and I will literally give this to my kids. I will literally teach them how to do this as well and everything that it comes with it.
Hey, it's the Profit Answer Man, Rocky Lalvani. If you're new to the podcast, check out my interview with Mike Michalowicz. It's episode number 2. If you want to hear about each chapter in the Profit First book, go back and listen to episodes 3 through 13. Episode 1 is the why and how. On the Profit Answer Man, we learn money mastery without all the complicated accounting mumbo-jumbo using a simple system. Your accountant is busy documenting your transactions and creating a rearview mirror of what happened. My guess is you don't even look at the reports they sent you. If you're like most business owners, you struggle with this, and it's not your fault. We aren't taught money in school, and accountants aren't taught how to be profitable. The Profit First system created by Mike Michalowicz works, and he certified me to help you implement the system in your business. Remember, the new equation is sales minus profit equals expenses. Let's face it, without cash flow, you can't pay your employees, buy needed materials, or pay your mortgage and support your family. I help you to do that and more, so you can focus on the parts of the business you love and receive the rewards for your labor and investment into your business. The stronger you are as a business owner, the more jobs you create, the better we are as a country. Small business owners are the backbone of America, and for that, you deserve to be well rewarded. Just remember, more revenue does not equal more profit. That's why we focus on the bottom line. Happy New Year. I hope you already have a plan in place for 2023. And targets you expect to hit and can measure against this year, and a system to do so. If not, how will you know if it was successful? It's also a great time to review last year and see what changes need to be made for the next year. The recession word is in the air, and as we talk about that, we're creating plans ahead of time so that if it occurs, we don't have to scramble. We just execute the plan that we created when we had time to think. Make sure you have one in place. We always talk about being profitable. One way to deploy that profit is real estate, whether it's investing in rentals or buying your own office building or doing something else. Today, we have my friend Dustin Heiner to talk about real estate and an upcoming program that I will be at. That means if you come, you get to hang out with me for a couple of days and ask all the questions you want for the ticket price. We'll chat about that today. Dustin Heiner is the founder of Master Passive Income, Real Estate Wealth Building Conference, and Successfully Unemployed. He's a real estate investor who was able to make enough passive income from his business to quit his job when he was 37 years old. With his podcast, YouTube channel, books, courses, and coaching, he now helps other people quit their job by investing in real estate, rental properties to live their dream life. You, however, will be investing your profits in keeping your business to create even more cash flow to make it all happen. So this way, you've got a plan for all of that income. Welcome to the Profit Answer Man, Dustin Heiner. It's great to have you join us today.
Thanks, Rocky. It's fantastic to be able to hang out with you again and talk to everybody that's profiting. I mean, that's the biggest thing about business is we're in it to make money so we can provide for a family. That's why I love the term successfully unemployed. Like if you are able to create a business that makes money for you and your family, then you can become successfully unemployed. But man, it's great seeing you again.
Great to see you again. So can you share a little bit about yourself and your business with the audience?
Totally. Yeah. So I actually have a number of businesses, which is fantastic. And each one, I focus on making a profit, like the profit first. I love that. In fact, in 2006, when I first started real estate investing, that's what I am. I'm a real estate investor. I invest in real estate. Now I literally have 4 businesses that make me money because we in 2006 started buying properties for not just profit, meaning like being able to flip a house and make profit. No, I bought rental properties that were long-term buy and hold properties that I would literally give to my kids in generational wealth. But I also made sure that I would make profit every single month from these properties back in 2006 when I first started buying properties, and each one making me $250 a month in passive income. Eventually I had 30 plus properties. I was like, my goodness, why am I still working here? I don't need to work here. Remember, 250 is the minimum. That an expense was profit. That was a minimum. Now, some properties were making me 354. Now, literally, my rents have doubled since 2006. Rents just keep going up, which is amazing. But with that, when I was 37 years old, Rocky, I was blessed to be able to quit my job. Just like you, we're successfully unemployed. But with that, what's even more amazing was it's a passive income business. That's what I love is passive income. And I had 40 plus hours of my life back so that I could then create more businesses that put profit first to be able to provide for myself and my family. And with that, now I literally have 4 businesses that make me money. And as best I can, all I do is I make them as passive income as possible. But on top of that, I don't build a business unless I'm profiting first. So that's the short of it is I'm an investor who has now been blessed to create more businesses because I have so much time on my hands because I profited first.
And that's one of our big principles. When we have a profitable business, people ask, what do I do with my profit account? We tell people you need to remove it from the business and use it to either invest somewhere else, whether it's in another business that you're building, paper assets, real estate, whatever works best for you. But we pull our money out of the business because many businesses don't survive over time. And a lot of times it's not the business owner's fault. You could have technology or something else that changes the game or other things happen to happen. And so when you have multiple pots of money in other places, you never have to worry about the business itself. You're not stuck on just one source of income. So it makes you much more unshakable. And that's a big part of what we want to talk about today. You said when you build your businesses, you plan for profit. So how do you do that up front?
So in every single business, it's really comes down to, well, let me say this way. It's first comes down to people. So real estate is not about a property. It's about people. Business is not about a product. It's about people. Life in general is not about experiences. It's about people. Everything is always about people. So if we put people first, that's what's going to help our business to actually be able to sell whatever we're selling or rent whatever we're renting. And this is why I think of profiting first. I'm not going to start a business unless I'm going to be literally making money in profit. Give you an example. If I'm going to buy a candy bar, and I know that I can sell it for $1. I absolutely know, like without a shadow of a doubt, saying that my real estate investing, I know I could rent it for a certain amount. I just need to make sure my expenses are lower so I make the profit in there. So with that candy bar analogy, if I know without a shadow of a doubt I could sell it for $1, I'm not going to buy it for $1.25 and try to sell it for $1. I'll lose money. That's just, why would you build a business? You wouldn't build a business because you go out of business. Same thing with real estate investing. I personally don't suggest buying a property that you're going to be losing money on every single month. We don't do that. But let's say you can sell it for $1, but you can buy it for 50 cents and then sell it for $1. You'll make 50 cents, which is a great return on your money. But here's the great thing that I love about real estate investing. Same thing with business. You can also use this for business as well. But with real estate investing, let's say using candy bar analogy, think of it like a house. But if you could sell it for $1 and it costs 50 cents to buy that piece of product, that candy bar, but you don't have that 50 cents. Let's say it costs you 25 cents to borrow that money to then have 50 cents of the expenses paid out plus 25 cents for the loan. That's 75 cents total. And you're still profiting. Like everything is on top of like your overhead and all that sort of insurance, but then you're profiting 25 cents. That's the type of businesses I create. So thinking of the other businesses that I create, well, I also create passive income businesses that like a podcast. I literally have sponsors that come on my podcast. I create content and it's passive. So it's going to be literally out there in the internet, hopefully forever. But with that, I have sponsors that want to come on, but my income is so much higher than my expenses. So I already know going into it, my expenses, let's say for a podcast, there are free services too. You can do it. But just for a podcast, I'll give you an example. I think my podcast this month made like, I don't know, $3,000 just by the podcast itself from sponsorships and interviews and stuff like that. But my expenses are literally, I think like $50 a month, maybe $100 a month at most. I pay my daughter. She's the one that edits my podcast, which is terrific. But with that, I know what my expenses are. That's the biggest thing. If you know what your expenses are going to be, you just need to make sure that you are going to make an income above that. And whatever it is for me, for my rental properties, it was $250. So if I added up all of my expenses, taxes, insurance, mortgage, you have your property management fees, all these sort of things. Vacancy factor, you add up all those. And like I said, with that candy bar, I know I could sell it for $1. I have my property managers who are the experts. They're the experts on the ground. They tell me, well, Dustin, you can rent it for $1,300. Well, good. That's expert information. Let's say all my expenses are $1,050. Well, that's $250 in passive income. That's $250 in profit that I made there. So every single business that I create, I make sure that the profit is there first before I actually even start the business.
And I think that's what happens a lot of times. I get people coming to me saying, should I buy this particular piece of real estate? And we take about 2 minutes, we do some basic math, and we go, is it profitable? And it really isn't much more than that. And I think people get I don't know what it is, but they put too much into it instead of just doing the back of the napkin math. And if the back of the napkin math works, great. And of course, you build in margin and profit like you talked about. If it doesn't, you don't do it. And I'm just shocked at how, I think especially with real estate, people get emotionally involved. And that's a big part of the problem. I really like this house. I'm like, I don't really care if you like the house. I want to know if you like the cash flow, because that's 100%. What you're getting involved in. Yes.
And with that, the way that I like to explain it is, well, most people, mom and pop people, they go, I want to buy a first property that I'm going to rent out. Well, they get emotional on it because usually buying a home for most people, like almost 100% of people, if you're not an investor, it's an emotional thing. You're buying a house to live in. Oh, I like this and I like that and I like this and like that. Well, when you're a real estate investor, we're not real estate investors essentially. Our end title is not an investor. Our end title is that we are a business owner. Let me give you an example of what that looks like. Same thing what you're just talking about, Rocky. We make sure that we're making money every single month. And so in real estate investing, we are business owners, and it just so happens that our inventory is our properties. That is what our inventory is. So we don't get bogged down on what type of inventory we have. No, people are going to want to live anywhere. Just because you don't want to live there doesn't mean that somebody else won't. Give you an example. Like if you're going to start a convenience store, convenience store, candy bars and soda machines and all that good stuff. Well, you're not going to sign a lease on a location, open the doors and set a box of candy bars in there on the ground. No, you wouldn't do that. You go out of business in 2 seconds. What you would do is you would build the business first. You get the gondolas, those shelving units, all the candy bars go on, the countertops, cold storage, bank accounts, cash registers, insurance, employees. You'll get everything in the business before you buy any inventory. Then once you have the business built, that's when you buy the inventory and put it into the business. Same thing with real estate investing. We build the entire business so that it runs itself, and we know we can make a profit every single month from those properties. And we don't care what type of property is because we're not going to be living there. Our tenants will be living there. You might not even want to live in that area of the country or even that city, but other people will. And so if you view your property, your business, anything as you have inventory, just like if you had a convenience store, you might buy 1,000 different type of candy bars. That might be a lot. Maybe let's say 200 different types of candy bars. You may only want to eat one of those, maybe not even eat any of those, but other customers will. And so if you take the emotion out and you provide a good service, remember, real estate is not about a property. It's about people. Business is not about a product. It's about people. If we focus on what our people want and then give them that service or that product that they want and make sure that we make a profit in there before we even start the business or before we buy that inventory, and that they have the business run itself. Remember, we're business owners. If we do that, we're going to be very successful because we're focusing on people and we're focusing on profit.
And you say business owner because a business owner is different than a business operator, right? You're not in there taking care of the toilets, doing that. You've built a team that handles everything for you, that does all the work. And I think that's another mistake people make when they look at real estate is they don't actually build the team. Too often they want to do too much themselves. We're busy in other areas of our life. I own rental properties, but that's not my main thing. My main thing is doing my business, and I use the rental properties as investments to create cash flow that I don't have to worry about on that side. And they are all cash flow positive.
And you're right. I don't want to own a job. That's not what I want. And I kid you not, I get this all the time. Well, how do you afford a property manager? I say, I don't afford a property manager. You'll get this, Rocky. I don't pay my property managers. I don't pay my taxes. I don't pay my insurance. I don't pay my mortgage. I don't pay for any of that stuff. Repairs, fixing toilets. I don't pay for that. My tenants pay for that. Now the money comes into me back out to all these bills, but I don't have to get a job to get a property manager. I don't buy the property unless that expense is accounted for, that property manager who's going to run the business for me. And I don't buy that property unless that expense of that profit, the $250 or more, is accounted for. And once it's accounted for, and I know I could buy the property, I have the price down enough to where I could afford the property manager, afford the profit and all that sort of stuff. That's when I buy the property.
And that makes sense. Again, it's running the numbers up front and doing it correctly, creating a good set of numbers. And, one of the things we talk about with Profit First, especially in the rental side, is people do calculations for vacancy. They do calculations for repairs, and they talk about these things. But one thing most business owners don't do is put the money aside. And that's what I love with Profit First. We actually put the money aside for vacancy. We put the money aside for long-term maintenance so that when the time comes for the roof to get replaced, we have the cash to pay for it. So it's all planned. The systems are all in place and it works easily. This way, there's no surprises.
I'll add one more, and I completely agree, wholeheartedly agree with that. I have one more thing that I love about real estate investing too, is as you scale your business, you buy one property, then two, and then maybe four, and you get to where you have, let's say 10, 20, 30 properties. Well, you have that reserve account. Well, let's say you had $2,000 reserved for one property. Well, if you had 10 properties, you might not need $20,000 in reserves. If you had 40 properties, you're not going to just keep getting that bigger and bigger. But here's the great thing. You're going to have, let's say, Mike, I suggest $10,000 to $15,000 is probably all that you need, because not all the roofs are going to go out at one time. Not all the furnaces are going to go out at one time. But here's the great thing. When you get to 20 properties, 15 to 20 properties, the money that comes in from those properties that your property managers manage them, whenever I get expense, I don't write a check anymore. It literally is just deducted from next month's rent or whatever rent they have on hand. So my account for, let's say, vacancy or repairs, it literally never dips because I don't write any money out because I have that rent coming in. I have so much rent coming in now that I even had 2 roofs go out one time. It was rare. Literally, I've been investing for, 17, 18 years now. 2 roofs it was 2 furnaces at the same time. It was in Ohio. It gets really cold there. They're older furnaces. All that to say, I didn't even write a check. It was in the same month. I didn't have to write a check out of my pocket because it just deducted from the rents. But at the same time, that cut down my income, which, that's definitely something we have to be concerned about. But all that to say, I love it with real estate investing because that money just keeps rolling right on in every single month.
And the nice thing about real estate is it creates a good tax deduction, as far as you can create cash flow without having to necessarily pay taxes. And so from that standpoint, it really multiplies your investment even further.
And a good place to store any money that you make. Like, I'll give you examples. Like with the 3 other businesses, so I have 4 businesses that make me money. One's the real estate investing. The other 3 are online businesses and other businesses that I have that make me money. But I love streams of income. Streams of income is great. Many streams of income, but they flow into my river of income, which is my real estate investing. So if I make a lot of money in one business, I don't want to have all this taxes go out. I don't want to just buy unnecessary things. In fact, one of my friends, he's a plumber, has his own business. He literally went out and had to buy a $25,000 truck because he didn't really need it, but it was going to go out in taxes anyway. So he's like, let me go ahead and buy. That's what his accountant was telling him anyways. And instead of doing that, I buy investments. Like, I'm not forced to do anything. So I buy investments that even make me more money, that make my income look less. So all that to say, with real estate investing, what I love is that all of my money that comes from all these businesses go right back into real estate investing. And that saves me even more money in taxes. Plus, if you, as a business owner, don't have a deduction as the depreciation on a property, you're missing out. Depreciation is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. It saves you so much money in taxes. So you have to, even if you just get one property, your accountant be like, good job. Look how much depreciation you get.
And it works well. And there's different ways tax-wise to become more involved in the real estate, and it changes your tax structures. And that's a whole nother episode for that. Part of the reason we're here today is because many of my clients that I talk to, work with, are all interested in getting involved in real estate. They don't always have the knowledge. And so what I have found in the real estate space, especially the real estate education space, is there's too much scamming going on. There's too many people just pushing you into program after program at more and more money with hype. And I really don't appreciate it. I don't like it. I don't want to be involved in anything like that. There are a lot of people, though, in the real estate world who are more than willing to share. And they teach their knowledge. They show you how they did things. And together they figure out how to do things better for all of them. And they do that. Dustin and I know each other. We have met in person many times. We're involved in a lot of other things. And so we're going to actually be together next year. I'm going to be speaking about Profit First in real estate at Dustin's conference. And the cool thing is we just wanted you all to have an opportunity that if you want to hang out with me for the weekend, or you want to hang out with real estate people and learn, this is the perfect opportunity to do that. So Dustin, tell us a little bit about it.
I have so many students that, so I coach people how to invest in real estate. After I quit my job, I had friends and family members asking me how to do it. Eventually, I just had lots of people. So now all of them, they're all over the country. We're friends online and friends on Zoom. They said, we want to get together. And so fast forward, I created a conference. I called up all my friends that are other real estate investors, everything from syndications to land investing, storage units, Airbnb, like you name it, in investing in real estate. I brought us all together and I created a conference called the Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference. And it's all about giving. So I created something that I wish I had back in 2006. So in 2006, I was watching late night TV. It was like 2 a.m. and it was an infomercial came on. This guru said, hey, we're coming to your town. It's going to be a free 2-hour seminar. You come. And I went to it. I was all pumped up and I went to it and it was all hype, all just a sales pitch. And then they said, now run to the back. It's normally like $30,000. It's going to be $1,000 today. So I ran to the back and it was all hype for this next thing. That was all hype again for even more money, just like you said, Rocky. And I thought, my goodness, I don't like this. I'm going to do my own. Now, fast forward now, I've helped so many people and my friends who are other expert investors that have their own podcasts and YouTube channel of coaching. I said, let's all get together. Let's do the opposite of that. Let's just give. Let's just help everybody else. And so we came together in March of 2022. We had our first conference. We're not building a conference. We're building a community. And so in May 2023, 4th through the 6th, we're going to have the Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference again. So it'll be in Phoenix in 2023. 2024, I'm looking to be on the East Coast as well. So we're going to go back and forth. But the end goal is to build a community of helpful real estate investors that are experts. In fact, Rocky, you and I are two of, I think we have 38 speakers now. And these are all experts in their field of real estate investing. So if you want to learn how to be, profit first in real estate investing, if you want to learn how to store your money like the wealthy do, the rich, this is what they do. They put it in real estate. If you're making a lot of money, store it there, and then you create generational wealth. So what I love is that now we have a place for all of us investors to come, a community where we can all come together and help each other out to become awesome real estate investors. So it's a Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference, RewBCon for short, REWBCON.com. And so, Rocky, for all your listeners, I want to absolutely give them a 10% off code to get 10% off any ticket that they get. And they'll be able to come hang out with you literally all weekend, as well as myself and the other awesome investors. If everybody uses the promo code Rocky, very simple, easy to remember, use the promo code Rocky and use that, you'll get 10% off your ticket. And like I said, well, one other thing I'll say, a lot of conferences that you go to, number one will be sales pitch. And you'll see the table in the back where you're supposed to run back and give them your money. You'll also see the speakers. They go to the conference just for their speaking session and then leave right away. They stay for maybe a couple hours. This is not that type of conference. All of the speakers, they're expert investors who are there to also connect with other great investors. Because if we view real estate investing, business, and everything about people, we grow and everything gets better. So I would love to see everybody here come hang out with you, Rocky, at the conference and come hang out with me as well as all the other investors.
And that is what's cool. I know a lot of real estate conferences are like what you talk about, where everyone is pitching to buy their particular program. I'm not going to have a table in the back. We're just there to educate people on, how to use profit first and how to do it in real estate. And I know the other people will be there. So if somebody is new to real estate or hasn't even started yet, still appropriate?
100%. And so last year, it was an inaugural event. And with that, we had a lot of beginner type of, if you want to get into land investing, this is how you do it. If you want to get into storage units, this is how you do Airbnb. And so we lead with that. But then also now this is our second year. We have even more talks or more breakout sessions. We have all the content from last year. If you want to watch those, we have those. This year, we're having more speakers and we're developing tracks, a beginner track, an intermediate track, and more advanced track. Right now, it is going to be the best time ever to invest in real estate. With the interest rates going up, prices are going to come down. Economy is going to be in turmoil with inflation and everything. I am super excited. I wish I had more money back in 2009, 2010 with the crash. It might happen again. We need to be ready for that. But with that, if you're a beginner, this is 100% the right place to be, because you're going to get around all the people that are expert investors. You're going to get their great information, content, and understanding of how to invest. And you're also going to be open. Your mind's going to be open. If you're intermediate, even advanced, mind's going to be open of all the different types of investing. In fact, I've been investing for almost 18 years now. And I, going to my own conference, my mind was blown at all the different ways that you can invest in real estate. And now I'm investing with other people, attendees. Like, they have good deals. Like, sure, I'll give you money. Let's start investing. So yes, great for intermediate, great for advanced, and especially great for beginners.
And that's the other thing you can do. There are a million ways to make money in real estate. One of them is simply to just be a lender, lending other real estate people money. And you get 8, 10, 12%, depending on the deals, and probably even higher today with rates going up. The opportunities are there. And I think this is a great way to get showcased to all of the different options and figure it out and pencil out the numbers first and figure out. That's, I think, the one thing for real estate is figure out what real estate works for you. So, one of the things I try and tell my business owners is, okay, do you like to vacation in a particular area? Do you always take your family there? All right, why don't we buy an Airbnb there? Because if I buy an Airbnb there, every time you go there, right, it's a business write-off now, because you're going to your rental property to make sure everything is done correctly. So from that standpoint, it really works well. And in the meantime, you rent it out and now it pays for itself. So now you're getting a free vacation that was costing you money before, and you make it work. So there's a million different things to think about. And once you noodle them all out, you figure out which ones are best for you. And then we figure out, a lot of times we'll look at, if we do X, how can we extract extra profit from a particular property, which means, sometimes we'll put buildings on there. Sometimes we'll change the way the properties are used to increase profits. Sometimes we'll do mixed. Someone wants to put their business in real estate. Maybe they buy the building and they rent out half of it, right? There's a whole different variety of ways to do things. And I think in hearing what other people are doing, you're getting ideas that you can bring back and implement into your business and into your real estate and into your wealth building. Because at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. We use profits to build wealth, not to plow back into our company that may or may not be here to serve us in 10 years.
And I love lasting wealth. And my term that I've really just grabbed onto, and I'm blessed to have, like I said, plenty of properties, plenty of businesses now, it's generational wealth. I will literally give these properties to my kids. I mean, it's literally a business that makes money without us working, because we have other people doing all the work. We built a business. And I will literally give this to my kids. I will literally teach them how to do this as well, and everything that it comes with it. So creating generational wealth. Now, your business, let's say your kids, none of them want to work in the business. Well, you can absolutely pass down your business if they want it. But if they don't want it, then I've seen lots of friends and people that I know that their kids don't want to run the business. And so they have to just give it up. But rental properties, my goodness, you literally don't do anything and you make money. This is generational wealth that we're creating.
And I like that as well. Any last thoughts for the conference and what people should know about?
So again, what we are creating is a community. That's really what it comes down to. So you have so many awesome speakers that are expert investors. Like Rocky, you're an expert investor as well as know how to profit first. With that, we have, like I said, 35 other expert investors that are going to be there all weekend long, helping each other out. But the biggest thing is we're building a community. We even have a Slack group. Slack's a communication app. We have that where everybody's still communicating on a daily basis. On top of that, we even have a monthly Zoom call. We call it the Rubicon Happy Hour. And so with that happy hour, we get together and we get to talk together and we get to invest together, all that sort of stuff. So we're building a community. So in the end, my suggestion is, knowing that this next couple of years is going to be amazing for real estate investing, you want to learn now how to do it, what's your right way to go in investing. Because just like surfing, if the wave passes you and then you start to paddle, you're never going to catch it. You need to paddle before the wave gets there. So you're already ready and you're taking off, and then you catch the wave. Same thing with real estate investing. You need to learn. On top of that, have the connections, have the other people around you that are either going to invest with you. You can invest with them, but you have the community around you, so you will be successful. Because in 2008, I saw so many investors, real estate investors, go bankrupt because they didn't know what they were doing. They were investing for appreciation, getting way over leveraged, getting bad loans because they didn't know what they were doing. They thought it was easy. Well, it's simple. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But everybody that was doing it, they're bankrupt now. So what we wanted is we want to learn how to do it and then implement everything. Because right now, in the next 2 or 3 years, it's going to be the best time, better, in my opinion, than probably even 2008 and 2009 to buy real estate. So get paddling now, learn, get the community around you, and be ready for investing.
And we both look forward to seeing you there in person. So fun time to hang out and chat and get an idea and learn from all of us in person. We look forward to it. Thanks so much for joining us today, Dustin.
Thank you so much, Rocky. I appreciate it.
Dustin was on my other podcast, Richer Soul, in episode 99, Building Life Intentionally Through Real Estate. You can learn his backstory and how he built his business to serve his life instead of the other way around. I hope to see you in Arizona in May. I love taking profits from the business and putting them to work somewhere else. Real estate's a great choice. Remember, you don't need more resources. You need to be more resourceful. So let's focus on the bottom line.
If you'd like for us to be a part of your profitability journey, we have different programs available ranging from do-it-yourself to one-on-one coaching. Our course, The Profit Blueprint, teaches you everything you need to know to transform your profitability. There are 3 different tiers ranging from DIY to done with you so that businesses of all sizes can get the support that's best. Join the waitlist in the show notes to get more information and be a part of the next cohort. If you want a done-for-you service, you can hire us as your chief profitability officers. We only work with a handful of clients, so they all get our full attention. We work with business owners who have or are growing to $500,000 to $10 million in revenue. You can use the scheduling link in the show notes to get on our calendar for a good fit conversation to see if we're the right people to support you and how we can help you.
This episode of the Profit Answer Man podcast is brought to you by SMBpodcastnetwork.com. The network is a collection of podcasts and shows from around the internet which focus on bringing you interviews with amazing guests who share actionable advice, ideas, and information for small and medium-sized business owners and entrepreneurs. Visit www.smbpodcastnetwork.com to find more great shows and easily subscribe to be notified of new episodes. It's a great way to discover quality content. If you've discovered us via the network, then I hope you enjoy today's show and will consider subscribing directly so you never miss our episodes. Remember to check out my other podcast, Richer Soul, where we talk about how to live the ultimate life and be the best business owner you can be. As we close out, let's repeat the mantra. Revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, and cash is king. Have an abundant and profitable week.